Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Summer is right around the corner. And if you're like me, you not only want to look good, you also want to feel good. And here to help us out is #1 New York Times bestselling author, Dr. Ian Smith. He has released his 20th book, which is a unique intermittent fasting plan that also includes simple and achievable exercises. The book's titled Fast Burn: The Power of Negative Energy Balance. And Dr. Ian, just for the record, has also created 2 national health initiatives over the years, the 50 Million Pound Challenge and the Makeover Mile. And he's also a graduate of Harvard, Columbia, and the University of Chicago's Pritzker School of Medicine. Did I mention he's also the host of the syndicated TV show, The Doctors? How are you, Dr. Ian?
I am so good. I wish I was with you in the studio, but it's good to see you at least via Zoom.
Yes, I feel the same way. And it's just a blessing to be able to talk to you each time you come out with one of these books that really is going to help somebody out there watching, because you've said something very key over time. You said that there are a lot of different plans and you've written a lot of different books, but there's no plan that's a one size fit all. So there's something for everyone each time you come out with a new plan. And so I'm excited to talk about that today. Let's talk about Fast Burn: The Power of Negative Energy Balance, and really break that down. What does it mean?
Okay, so Fast Burn is a 9-week plan. Every week on the plan is completely different. And the reason why I do that is because people get bored of doing the same thing, either eating the same foods or doing the same type of exercise. So 9 weeks, very different. But it's regular food, it's affordable food, it's accessible. You don't have to go to 4 different grocery stores to buy the food. And the idea behind Fast Burn is I wrote this book from the vantage point of the user. What use is it of creating a plan if people find that it's either too expensive, that they don't enjoy the food, or it's too difficult to follow? So I really tested this in 2,000 people on Facebook who went through the early draft of the plan. The average weight loss was 15 to 17 pounds in 9 weeks. But what we also found was that people were losing inches and inches of fat around their midsection, which is typically a very difficult place to lose it. And the feedback I got from my initial group helped me actually put together the final plan that people can now use, that's available in stores now. And the idea is very simple. What I do with the plan is I flip your body into what's called a negative energy balance state. Here's the deal. Positive energy state means that your calories you're consuming are more than the calories that you're burning off. And food calories is a form of energy. And so that's positive energy. And the body has to do something with the extra energy that you're not burning off. Energy just doesn't disappear. What the body does is the body stores it as fat, because fat is a storage form of energy. Now, in Fast Burn, in this new plan, I flip you to a negative energy balance state. And the way I do that is you're still going to eat 3 meals and 3 snacks a day. You have plenty of food. However, it's the timing of it. We do some intermittent fasting. So you eat all of your meals and snacks in a certain period of time, and then you spend another period of time fasting. It's during that fast that your body no longer has access to food energy, but your body still needs energy. And so your body goes into your fat stores, it breaks down the fat, converts it into fuel that you can use. And that's why intermittent fasting is so good at reducing obesity or fat around your midsection, because you're in this fasting state and your body needs the fat for energy.
Wow. And that really did break it down, because when you say fast burn, you are definitely talking about burning that fat, which, like you said, is not always willing to go away.
A little stubborn sometimes.
Yes, absolutely. We spoke last year, and the focus was obviously around COVID and how people were dealing with the COVID-15 or COVID-20 in some people's cases, whatever. But, we were at the time kind of in the stay at home scenario. And now we're kind of working our way out of that. And yet people still need to get back on track for whatever they may have started, or get started all together. So that's why it's so important to have you here. Perfect timing, because like I said early on, summer's right around the corner. So you mentioned this is a 9-week program. So where exactly do we start?
So it's broken up into three sections. It's the first section is called ignition. That's the 4-week start period. And so that those 4 weeks is all about gradually making changes, not dramatic changes, but slowly making changes, because I'm interested in you making lifestyle changes. This just isn't a diet because you want to look good in a bathing suit. This is about you making changes that will make you feel better and look better for the rest of your life. So the first 4 weeks, we do that. Then we do something most programs don't do. We take a break, and I call it intermission. So during intermission, you kind of breathe a little bit, figure out how you've been doing, assess yourself. And then once that week is over, we go into the last 4 weeks of the plan, and that's called acceleration. That's where we press the pedal to the metal. And the idea behind the last 4 weeks is we're really going to drive our body into those fat stores to be able to shrink the size of our fat. And so we look better and feel better. And what's interesting is that people who've done the plan talk about the ease of use of the plan. I really wanted this to be something that was easy to use. It's a one-stop shopping. You have the plan itself. Every day is detailed for you. Every meal has an option to it, 1 or 2, 3 options. So you can be a vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, carnivore, doesn't matter. You can make it work for you. The other part of it is that there are things that people want to eat, and a lot of diets say no. So you're going to have pizza on fast burn. You're going to have steak. You're going to have chicken. You're going to have fish. You're going to have vegetables. You're going to have all kinds of things. Pancakes. My grandmother's pancakes are in there. You're going to have all these things that diets typically say you can't have. And the reason why I do that is because I believe that when you take away things that people enjoy completely, that they end up either being on a program for a short period of time, and eventually they get off because they miss these things. And yes, you're going to have some alcohol also. So Fast Burn really is a program that says to the user, listen, you're not going to be perfect all the time. You're not going to eat best all the time, but we're just going to make some better decisions so that we can have fun and still lose weight at the same time.
Wow. You just made that sound so like, okay, I can do this. Because like you said, most of the time, and I'm not just saying this, when you kind of look at some of the diets that are out there, you're in the store going, well, where is it and what is it, But when you look through some of the recipes that you've given and even the meal plans that you put together, I guarantee you probably 89% of the people have all that stuff already in their kitchen, and the others are like me and they don't cook. So they don't have it anyway.
Well, let me tell you something. You're going to want to cook. I mean, so also a big part of the program is I have some recipes in the back of the book. You don't have to follow these recipes, but if you want some recipes, everything from tender baked pork chops on page 273 to Moroccan sweet potatoes to whole wheat edamame pesto pasta. I mean, it really is a broad range. And what everyone has said online is they love the recipes. In fact, people have commented that this is the first diet they've been on where the entire family can eat the same food, because it's not diet food. It's not typically the cardboard, bad tasting, no spice kind of food that people get on diet plans. This is tasty, good food that you can make at home, and it's very affordable. And people are grateful that they have this type of plan that they can do it and not have to do something different for the rest of their family.
Yeah, and you have one recipe in there that you call the Greek energy bowl.
Oh, yeah.
That is, I'm like, okay, now that one I've definitely got to get into. And you can make it enough that, you can eat it every day if you want to, and it's good for you. So you eat it, not all of it at once, but kind of break it up in the way that you tell us. You tell us how much to eat as well. So I love that. And for those who didn't catch it, you also can get some snacks, and that's everything for me. So you say, Dr. Ian, that not all fat is bad.
Yeah, some fat is good. Well, we need fat. Fat is considered to be what's called a macronutrient. That means that we need it in macro amounts, large amounts. We need fat. We need it for insulation of our bodies. We need it for our cell membranes. However, dietary fats, there are good fats and bad fats. The good fats are the unsaturated fats. When you see the word unsaturated, that means it's a good fat. There's monounsaturated, there's polyunsaturated. When you see the word saturated fat, that is not as good. So you need to consume less, not necessarily none at all, but you want to reduce the amount of saturated fats. And lastly, the third category is those fats you never want to eat. Those are called trans fats. Now, I got to tell people, be careful, because trans fats you've probably heard of before, but there are other chemical names that manufacturers will use in the ingredients label that you may not recognize as a trans fat. So look for the words hydrogenated oils or partially hydrogenated oils. Those are trans fats. So those three terms all mean the same thing, and those you never want to consume.
So those you want to avoid. I mean, you always school us. So it's not just like, okay, do this, do that. You school us in between and help us all better understand our body, how it functions. And one thing that I thought was really important is that, you know, a lot of people deal with inflammation in the body, whether that's diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, cancer, asthma, all these things. And there are certain things that they can do to help reduce the inflammation in their bodies. And you actually address that in Fast Burn.
Yeah, because anti-inflammatory programs are very helpful. And what I try to do with Fast Burn is I try to make it so that if you have medical conditions or dietary preferences, you don't want gluten, you have high blood pressure, so you have to reduce the amount of salt that you have high cholesterol, you need to watch your fat. I really make the program, I set it up so that you can make substitutions in and out to help you. And having an anti-inflammatory diet is extremely helpful. The other thing I like to do is I also like to get people together, Andrea, because I think when people lose weight together, not only do they lose more weight, but they keep it off. And so I have a Facebook group that's a challenge. It's called Fast Burn Challenge on Facebook. And the beauty of that program is that there are over 9,000 people in it. And I'm in the group every day answering questions, encouraging and supporting. But even without me in the group, there are thousands of people who are posting recipes, who are helping each other, answering questions. And one thing I think people need, particularly in this time, is to have a supportive environment. So many people fail at weight loss, not because they don't want to try to do it, not because they don't have the resources, it's because they don't have the support. And so I always tell people, start a program when you're mentally ready and also find support when you try to do it.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought up the Facebook challenge and all that good stuff, because we are going to talk a little bit more about how people can become a part of that group and so much more. So if you would just stick around and we'll address that and a whole lot more. So basically, as I just said, we're going to find out more about the book, Fast Burn, The Power of Negative Energy Balance, plus find out about the media platforms that are available to you. And we also have to talk about the amazing work that Dr. Ian's doing on the syndicated TV show, The Doctors. We'll do that right after this.